The AMG GT-R. A brutal bargain or a misunderstood monster? There are cars that exist to impress. There are cars that exist to perform. And then there are cars that exist to intimidate. The Mercedes-AMG GT-R belongs firmly in the last category. From the moment it rolls into view, this machine does not attempt to charm. It does not whisper luxury or hint at daily usability. Instead, it broadcasts intent. Wide, low, aggressive, and unapologetic, the AMG GT-R looks less like a sports car and more like a weapon designed for speed. And here is the twist that makes this story impossible to ignore. When this car launched in 2018, it carried a price tag close to $200,000. Today, examples with relatively low mileage are trading hands for just over $100,000. That is nearly half its original price. In an era where Porsche GT models appear immune to depreciation, this sudden drop raises an uncomfortable question. Is the AMG GT-R one of the greatest performance bargains on the market today? Or is there a reason the world quietly moved on? Before answering that, it is important to understand exactly what this car is and what it is not. If you appreciate deep automotive analysis, honest reviews, and cars that push boundaries rather than follow trends, make sure to subscribe and stay with this channel. What follows is not surface-level hype. This is the real story, not just another AMG GT. The AMG GT-R is not a trim level. It is not a styling package. And it is absolutely not a softened Grand Tourer wearing aggressive bodywork. This sits above the AMG GT, above the GTS, and above the GTC. It was built with one clear mission: to bring Mercedes-AMG as close as possible to a road-legal race car without crossing into full homologation territory. At the heart of the AMG GT-R is a 4.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8, producing 577 horsepower. On paper, that number does not seem outrageous in today's horsepower-inflated market. But numbers alone do not explain how this engine behaves. This is not a power plant that builds gently or rewards restraint. It delivers torque aggressively, relentlessly, and immediately. There is no waiting for boost. There is no sense of escalation. Press the throttle, and the car surges forward with force that feels almost mechanical in its brutality. But the engine is only part of the equation. What separates the GT-R from lesser AMG GT variants is how extensively the entire platform has been re-engineered. The front and rear tracks are wider. The fenders are larger. The body incorporates significant amounts of carbon fiber, titanium, and magnesium. There is a carbon fiber torque tube. The suspension geometry has been revised from top to bottom with one goal in mind: cornering speed. This is not a comfortable evolution. It is a transformation, designed for the track, not the commute. Everything about the AMG GT-R points toward circuit use. The aerodynamics are aggressive and functional, not decorative. There is a deployable aerodynamic element beneath the front of the car that increases downforce at speed. The rear wing is not subtle. The diffuser is massive. Even the driving modes reflect this philosophy. This car does not ask how comfortable the driver wants to be. It asks how much control the driver is willing to handle. The steering system uses a variable ratio that sharpens responses dramatically. Rear-wheel steering actively alters the car's behavior, tightening corners at low speeds and improving stability at high speeds. Every input feels immediate. There is no slack, no softness, no forgiveness. And then there is the ride. This is where the AMG GT-R makes its intentions painfully clear. The suspension is brutally stiff. Road imperfections are not absorbed. They are transmitted. Bumps are not filtered. They are announced. This car does not glide over pavement. It interrogates it. For some drivers, this level of feedback is exhilarating. For others, it is exhausting. The AMG GT-R does not allow casual driving. It demands focus at all times. That intensity is both its greatest strength and its greatest weakness. A driving experience that demands commitment. On the road, the AMG GT-R feels immediately planted. The car sits low, wide, and stable. Body roll is nearly non-existent. Turn-in is sharp to the point of aggression. The steering feel has often been compared to that of a Porsche GT3, and the comparison is not accidental. The front end communicates clearly. There is confidence in how the car responds. The feedback through the wheel makes it easy to place the car precisely, even at speed. But unlike a GT3, the AMG GTR does not try to be polite. The cabin is loud. Tire noise is ever-present. Road textures are amplified by the wide cup 2 tires. At highway speeds, the sound does not fade into the background. It stays with you, constantly reminding the driver that this is not a luxury cruiser. This car makes it very difficult to drive slowly, not because it lacks refinement, but because everything about it encourages speed. The throttle response, the exhaust note, the way the chassis settles under load all work together to pull the driver deeper into the experience. It is thrilling, it is intoxicating, and it is not relaxing. If you are enjoying this breakdown so far, take a moment to subscribe. This channel exists for people who want honesty, not marketing gloss. The engine that refuses to apologize. Turbocharged engines often face criticism for lacking character. The AMG GTR proves that complaint is not universal. This V8 does not feel muted or restrained. It feels alive. The torque delivery is massive and immediate, but it does not flatten at high revs. The engine continues pulling hard all the way to redline, creating a sensation of constant acceleration. Paired with a lightning-fast transmission, the powertrain feels cohesive and intentional. Gear changes are sharp. Downshifts are aggressive. The entire system feels tuned for performance first, comfort second. This is one of the rare turbocharged engines that does not make enthusiasts long for natural aspiration. It delivers drama without delay. And that drama comes with consequences. Why this car confuses so many people. Here is where the AMG GTR becomes difficult to categorize. It is not a daily driver. It is too stiff, too loud, and too demanding. It is not a pure track car. Despite its performance, serious track enthusiasts would still choose a purpose-built machine with a roll cage, harnesses, and simplified interiors. So what is it? The answer lies somewhere in between. The AMG GTR is a statement car. It is for drivers who want a machine that feels extreme, looks extreme, and behaves extreme, even if that means making compromises. It is for people who want their car to feel alive at all times. And it is for people who understand that not every great driving experience is comfortable. In Part 2, the focus will shift to value, comparisons, interior design, long-term ownership realities, and the uncomfortable truth about why this car might be one of the most undervalued performance machines on the market today. If you think this car might already be misunderstood, you are not wrong. Value, reality, and why the AMG GTR might be the most underrated performance car of its era. By the time the Mercedes-AMG GT R reaches its limit, the conversation around it shifts. The noise fades into the background, the stiffness becomes familiar, and what remains is a more difficult question to answer. Is this car actually worth owning? Because performance alone does not determine greatness. Value, usability, emotional return, and long-term satisfaction matter just as much. And this is where the AMG GTR becomes one of the most misunderstood cars of the modern era. The value equation nobody wants to admit. When the AMG GTR was new, it entered a market already dominated by Porsche's GT division. That comparison shaped its reputation from day one. Many buyers automatically assumed that if the Porsche existed, it must be the better choice. But the market today tells a different story. The AMG GTR now trades at roughly half its original price. Meanwhile, Porsche GT3 and GT3 RS models have either retained their value or increased dramatically. This has led many to assume that the AMG must have failed in some way. That assumption is wrong. What actually happened is far more uncomfortable for the industry. The AMG GTR depreciated exactly as a high-performance German sports car traditionally should. Followed the rules. Porsche did not. This makes the AMG GTR look undervalued only because the rest of the market has become irrational. For just over $100,000, it is nearly impossible to find a road-legal car that delivers this level of speed, grip, braking performance, and emotional intensity. Even older GT3 models often demand significantly more money, despite offering no clear performance advantage. This is not a compromised purchase. It is a recalibration of expectations. Interior, purpose over polish. Stepping inside the AMG GTR reinforces its identity immediately. This is not a cabin designed to impress with screens, ambient lighting, or modern tech trends. It is designed to serve the driving experience. Lightweight doors swing open with surprising ease. Carbon fiber dominates the visual landscape. Alcantara surfaces wrap around vents, seats, and controls. The layout feels intentional, almost architectural. There is repetition in the design, subtle patterns that reinforce the sense of cohesion. Physical buttons remain unapologetically. The focus is on tactility rather than novelty. Yes, there is piano black trim that shows fingerprints. Yes, the infotainment system feels dated compared to newer cars. But none of that feels like a flaw in context. This interior was never meant to be a lounge. It is a cockpit. One of the most talked about features is the traction control dial, offering multiple stages of adjustment. While most drivers will never explore its full range, its presence reinforces the car's track-focused intent. This is a machine built to be tuned, not simplified. If you appreciate cars that prioritize feel over fashion, this cabin makes sense. Living with the compromise. Here is where honesty matters most. The AMG GTR is difficult to live with. The ride is harsh. The cabin is loud. The width makes narrow roads feel even tighter. Long drives can result in fatigue. This is not a car that fades into the background of daily life. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Cars like this were never meant to be easy. The AMG GTR demands something from its owner. It asks for tolerance, attention, and commitment. In return, it delivers a level of engagement that more polished sports cars have gradually lost. This is the kind of car that makes every drive feel intentional. There is no passive experience here. You do not simply arrive at your destination. You earn it. If you value comfort above all else, this car will frustrate you. If you value involvement, it will reward you. And that distinction matters. Track car or poseur machine. Critics often dismiss the AMG GTR as neither a true track car nor a comfortable road car. That criticism is partially fair. A truly dedicated track driver would be better served by a stripped-out race build with safety equipment and simplified systems. The AMG GTR still carries luxury elements that add weight and complexity. But calling it a poseur misses the point. The AMG GTR does not pretend to be something it is not. It does not market itself as a daily driver. It does not claim to be a racing replacement. It exists in a narrow space where road legality meets track capability. And within that space, it excels. For the money, there is no other car that blends this level of aggression, engineering depth, and emotional presence. It may not be perfect at any one task, but it is exceptional at delivering intensity. If you are enjoying this level of honest analysis, this is the right time to subscribe. This channel is built for enthusiasts who appreciate truth over trends. The emotional return on investment. There is something else that rarely appears on spec sheets. The AMG GTR changes the way people feel when they drive it. It makes drivers louder, more animated, more reactive. It amplifies emotion. It demands attention. It refuses to be ignored. There is a primal quality to how it behaves, how it sounds, how it reacts to throttle input. Compared to something like a Porsche GT3, which delivers performance with precision and calm, the AMG GTR delivers performance with aggression and theater. Neither approach is superior. They are simply different. But the AMG offers something increasingly rare in modern cars. Rawness. Why the AMG GTR is undervalued. The AMG GTR exists in an uncomfortable truth. It is too extreme for casual buyers, too raw for luxury seekers, too refined for hardcore racers. And yet, it offers something none of those categories can fully replace. Authenticity. This car feels engineered rather than optimized. It feels purposeful rather than compromised by marketing. It feels like a machine built by people who wanted to see how far they could push the platform. That is why its depreciation should not be viewed as failure. It should be viewed as opportunity. Final verdict. The Mercedes-AMG GT R is not for everyone. It will test patience. It will punish rough roads. It will demand commitment. But for those willing to accept its flaws, it delivers something extraordinary. It is loud, aggressive, uncomfortable, and intense. It is also one of the most emotionally engaging performance cars available at its current price point. In a market obsessed with numbers and resale value, the AMG GT R quietly offers something more valuable: an experience. And that is all you truly need to know.